YouTube, what is going on? Welcome to another episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. As always, a quick thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day to check out the latest video. And of course, for all the amazing support you guys have given the channel. It's been such an amazing ride. And that support is appreciated so much more than you'll ever know. Thank you so much. And of course, that makes you guys a part of the, best damn community here on YouTube, without a doubt. You know it. Anyway, so I'm going to take 5 myths in today's video that concern silver and gold stacking, and we're going to see if we can break them down and find out if there's any truth behind them and give my opinion on whether they're right or wrong. So all that being said, you already know it.
Let's freaking roll it!
Alright, myth number 1 is fractional metals. Should they be avoided at all costs because of the premiums? Well, I agree and disagree, but one thing we do know for sure is this. Yeah, premiums are definitely higher on smaller metals. And the reason for that is because it costs just as much to strike a 1/10 coin as it does for a full ounce. It's just the reality of it. And when you factor that in, it makes it seem like fractional gold, for example, is a bad deal. But let's dig into it for a bit. While I don't think a stack should contain all fractional gold, I do think it's really beneficial to at least have some. Now, you could say that it's better to just save up for that 1 ounce. Here's the problem with that. Gold price is changing by the day. The longer you hold out, the higher that gold coin you've had your eye on could climb. And let's face it, gold hasn't done a whole lot of dropping here in 2024, so it's definitely a risk. Another factor, not everybody can come out of pocket for a full ounce, and some gold is better than no gold. And lastly, liquidation. You will never have a problem liquidating gold. But what if something comes up where you need some cash, but you don't need to liquidate a full ounce? Fractional gold is perfect for that situation. You're only liquidating what you need, right? Now, what about silver? Now, if you know anything about my stacking habits, you know I don't care for fractional silver at all. I'm not an aficionado of it. Yeah, it's affordable. It's priced far lower than gold, and it's already fractional and liquid by the ounce just based on those traits alone. But tiny silver just isn't worth it to me, and my personal opinion isn't going to change on that. It's just not. But if it's something you enjoy, then by all means, stack away. Nobody's judging you. It's just my personal opinion. But if you want true fractional silver, give mercury dimes a look. Those are my favorite as far as true silver goes. At least it looks real and doesn't need to be tested. And as for fractional gold, yeah, take a look at everything you have at hand, but don't be afraid of those sovereigns. The roosters, the British sovereigns, all those smaller increments, very good premiums over spot. So it's definitely a value. Keep your eyes open. Myth number 2, I'm going to retire on my stack. So the quote-unquote experts claim that metals shouldn't be more than 10 to maybe 25% of your overall portfolio, right? We all know those numbers. Now, while I think there's value in that, I also think that number is adjustable based on each individual's portfolio. If your portfolio is strong and you have diversity, then I pretty much agree with those percentages. But that being said, times have been tough over the last couple of decades for a lot of folks, and they may not have had the option to invest in the markets or sign up for that 401k when they were younger, and now they're getting closer to retirement with not a whole lot to fall back on. Now, here's the reality of Americans in retirement. Roughly 50%, half our population, reaching retirement will not have enough. They won't have enough. And 1 in 4 seniors are in poverty measured by international standards. So in this case, yeah, metals might be the Hail Mary that helps out those who aren't able to help themselves during their working years. It's better than nothing. But if your portfolio is sound, then it doesn't need to be dominated by precious metals. There's just too much volatility. Myth number 3, crypto rules over precious metals. Does it really? Look, crypto definitely has its place in the grand scheme of things. There's no question. Personally, I have a cold wallet holding some Bitcoin and around 3 or 4 other altcoins. But here's the thing, unless you got on the ground floor of the big boys like Bitcoin and Ethereum, you pretty much missed the boat. With the exception of some buying opportunities mixed within the past few years, but even those were pricey. For example, Bitcoin hit a nice high in 2021, right around 65,000 per coin, and then it had an insanely wicked drop down to 16,000 just a year later. And here in 2024, it climbed back to just over 70K and has settled back to around 65K per coin at present. So there were definitely some buying opportunities if you had the capital to buy a few coins at 16,000 and then sold this year. Then you made some serious cash, for sure. So, yeah, the potential for making more money does exist with crypto, absolutely. You just have to know what you're doing. You got to learn how to read the charts, or you can lose just as much as you stand to gain, right? But here's where I give metals the advantage over crypto. One word: availability. What happens if you lose your cold wallet, or your pass keys, or the grid goes down? Poof, gone. See ya. Das Vidanya. Can't touch or sell your crypto. Can't do anything with it. At least if you're storing silver and gold within reach, you have a tangible asset in times of need, right? Metals don't need electricity to be effective. They don't need a cold wallet. They're physical, tangible means of wealth. Crypto needs all that stuff. I'll make no mistake, I believe in having crypto, and I've made some money on it without a doubt. But for volatility and accessibility reasons, I don't believe for a minute that it's superior to a tangible asset like precious metals. Myth number 4, precious metals are too risky. Too risky with their volatility. Look, anyone who's done their due diligence on silver and gold knows there's plenty of upside with keeping a percentage of your portfolio in metals, right? Yes, volatility is an issue because we all know metals tend to go up when the dollar's down and vice versa, down when the dollar's up. With silver being a major industrial metal, it can also be affected by the economy. For example, if industries using silver suddenly decrease or shut down operations or go on strike, whatever you have, less silver is needed and it can affect price. Now, the reality is that there are a ton of factors that contribute to price volatility, especially geopolitical events. Right now, the world and precious metals are symbiotic with each other, whether we like it or not. That's volatility, and it's not about to change with the U.S. election coming up and all the garbage going around in the world today, Iran and Israel and war in the Ukraine. It seems like it's never ending. But that said, does all that mean you shouldn't stack metals? Heck no. Silver and gold will always be useful for their own reasons, and I believe more folks should be stacking at least a little bit if they're not already. And let's face it, a lot of negativity over metals comes from Wall Street and financial advisors because the reality is the financial sector loses out on commissions and fees when investors park their wealth in hard assets. It's just a given. So they're going to be the first to tell you that metals are too risky, don't touch them, don't get into them. But regardless of what's going on in the world, metals do offer a level of protection for your wealth. You may not make a killing by holding silver and gold, but if you're willing to go the distance on a long hold, you'll more than likely have a chance to make more than what you put into it, at least in the end. And that's factoring in inflation, spreads, capital gains taxes. I do believe the opportunity to make a little something will exist when we hit our retirement ages. And lastly, myth number 5, invest in silver. Look, honestly, I refuse to use the word investment when it comes to my silver, me personally. Yes, I'm putting money into it, but I put money into a lot of things. Daily living expenses like gas, food, having some fun every now and then. Those aren't investments, and neither is my silver. The exact definition of an investment is the action or process of investing money for profit. That's not what I'm doing. Look, when I started, I had a goal. When I first started stacking, I had a goal. And that was to have the equivalent of 6 months of living expenses ready to go in an emergency. But once I hit that goal, I realized that there was sound money in metals, and I adjusted that goal to add more. I just kept on going. I added more weight in both silver and gold. Nowadays, everything's changed. I've changed my spending habits. I've changed my saving habits by stacking cash instead of metals for those 6 months of expenses. And when it was all said and done, my stack went from a backup plan to a savings plan. That's the key word when it comes to silver. Savings. I save in metals. I don't invest in them. Now, the final plan is to take all that I've stacked and turn it into real estate down the road when I retire. I don't want to leave metals to my wife and kids when I pass because they either don't care or they just don't understand them enough, even though I've educated them on what to do. The attention span of a gnat these days. So part of my kids' inheritance will be the property and whatever else is left. That's the plan. That's how I view my stack, as a savings, not an investment. And you know what? Believe it or not, that takes so much stress off of watching charts every day because I know regardless, I'm adding weekly and it's going towards the end game. I'm not stressing over charts. It is what it is. All right, there you have it, folks. 5 common precious metal myths. And trust me, there are a bunch more, believe me. I'm just trying to keep the runtime on this video as low as possible. But look, feel free to add any that I didn't cover in the comments below. And if you agree or disagree with the ones I went over today, Let me know what your thoughts are. You guys know I love going through the comments, so make sure you sound off. And that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. And if you made it this far, well, kudos to you. I'll definitely catch up with you in the next episode. But in the meantime, oh yeah, you know what's up.
What do you want to do with your life?
I want to stack.
Damn right. Get stacked. Stay safe and be well, everyone. I am out of here. Peace, folks. Have a great end of week. I'll see you on Sunday. Stay safe.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.
Oh, yes. And what was that beginning, middle, and end part again?